So despite the efforts of the Amber Heard Funko crowd, the third week of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom domestic results have come in. Yeah, this stuff, it is embarrassing. In fact, despite a huge Amber Heard PR push that saw some of her fans taking Mera Funko Pops on date night, wait, that can't be real, right? Oh, yeah, it is. But despite the efforts of the Funko enthusiasts, yeah, the number of theaters is finally starting to decline, and numbers, yeah, they seem to be getting worse and worse and worse. Now, what makes this even better is the Funko dating crowd. You know, the crowd that boycotted this until Amber Heard said, hey, I know you all have been seeing it. Yeah, they're saying the movie's mid. And my absolute favorite part about this is the only party that seems to be winning from Aquaman is Netflix. That's right, Netflix. To the point that David Zaslav a couple of months ago, he had to come out and actually make excuses saying, yeah, we got a rent to own, but hey, at least we're the owners. There is a bright side though. With one more week in its theatrical run, those Rotten Tomato 5-star bots, oh man, they love the movie, so go spend your money. Yeah, you and I, we're going to talk about all of this today too. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. So week 3 of Aquaman and the Lost Audience is coming in, and this is on top of one of the biggest PR pushes we've seen in a while from Amber Heard. I mean, you have CNN involved, you have Variety, Business Insider, dozens of other mainstream media outlets. And despite that setting off what have to be some of the funniest posts of 2022 so far, yeah, the numbers domestically, they're not good. As in, they just crossed $100 million. And while we're on the subject, I mean, pictures like this, they get the old noggin jogging. I wonder, did you get Mera, Amber, whatever you're calling it? Did you get its own ticket? Are you all sharing popcorn while having deep, meaningful conversations? And I guess there's one huge bright side in this too, since there is no rush whatsoever on the theater. Yeah, you can set her wherever she wants. Mera on the right, Mera on the left. Heck, you can bring 60 Meras. Maybe you can fill up the place. And the greatest thing, I suppose, is being able to adopt those Vegas rules. You know, whatever happens in the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom showing, yeah, it stays in the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom showing, with only you, Funko, and well, maybe a psychologically scarred projectionist knowing what went on. Oh, frisky, right? Really, really frisky. And I mean, really, despite those double ticket sales for date night there, I mean, we're talking about a movie that is currently setting in third place domestically. And if you look at the competition, first and foremost in that number 1 spot, and I think that this is truly embarrassing, you have Wonka, which is a Warner Brothers product. They launched another movie against Aquaman because they knew that this thing, it would perform so poorly. Look at the genres here. I mean, you're competing with an adventure, all right, comedy, sure, family, fantasy, musical, that's right. Aquaman 2, mostly because of Amber Heard here, is being outgunned by a musical. When you look at the numbers on this too, I mean, it gets even worse because you're not just talking about a movie that is out earning it and doing so in a spectacular fashion, but you'll notice the amount of theaters that you have this opened in. Even now, after it's been open for an extra week, you still have it playing in more theaters. That's crazy. Now, even worse for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is what ends up taking away that number 2 position. And before you look at that name and title and you think, hey, that Umbrella Guy, is this a lifetime adaptation of what happened with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom? You know, Jason Momoa and James Wan being terrorized by a quote-unquote evil spirit while they're in the pool. I mean, it does sound like that, right? But no, no, it is a brand new horror movie that is just released from UPI or Universal Pictures International. I haven't seen it, by the way, so I don't have any comment, pro or con, on how good or bad of a movie. But what's funny about this is you already have deflection. You already have people attached to Team Amber Heard that are saying you can't compare this brand new release to the third week of Aquaman in profitability. Even though Aquaman, I mean, when you look at it, it's attached to DC Studios. You have Warner Brothers. They have spent $100 million plus marketing. It is attached to a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And really, the reason that they say that is because when you look at this movie is going to end up making more profit. Not money, mind you, but profit than Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom will. Why? Well, right now, you're looking at around $17 million in earning on a $15 million budget. So, you just have a little bit more you need to make back. They'll make that back from streaming rights if they stopped right now. They should make it back, though, in their theatrical run. And they're doing that in less theaters, with no hype whatsoever. I mean, this is a movie most people have never heard of, and still, it outdoes Aquaman 2. Now, this gets even wilder when you start separating the domestic box office performance from the domestic hype headlines. Why? Well, when you look at the headlines, they brag about things like, hey, did you see this movie? It made more money than the Marvels. It made more money than the Flash. Oh, do you hear all of that clapping? Yeah. When I look at this movie and I look at the actual numbers, what I think is that clap, it's the kind you might want to go to the clinic for. Maybe Warner Brothers, maybe Hollywood, they'll try to clear this giant flare-up, from a certain starlet. Because when you look at those numbers, I mean, right now, January the 7th, $100 million just broke versus going back. Oh man, I mean, look at that. $262,607,455. It's even worse too when you start looking at the dailies. You have 2 days, they break $10 million. 2 other days, they break $8 million versus, I mean, look at this here. You have plenty of days, they break 10, 15, 20. One comes in almost at 30 million. What's even crazier is when you take those numbers and you combine them with the international FUNKO enthusiasts. Yeah, the reported numbers. And there's some issues with this, in my opinion. But if you took it at its word, Warner just got caught lying about another movie. Remember that. But if you took it at its word and you take them at their word for their budget, they need around $300 million more. I think it's around $400 million. They didn't add in reshoots or anything. And also, with the international totals, I always find this troubling. You have the top earning areas, around 30 of them. They're all reported. Then you get rest of the world. Rest of the world adds up to $82 million. That's filed under Trust Me, Bro. Yeah, those FUNKO enthusiasts, oh man, they must be the world over, right? But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Links are in the description. Share this everywhere. Much love to you as well. Welcome to 2024, baby.